potential. So
things went a little bad for them when he started getting chain static stormed with hexes and stuff like that. But the fights where that wasn't an issue, it was pretty impressive. He still was definitely a threat, but they definitely lacked some lockdown. I felt we didn't really see a whole lot of chain stunning throughout the whole game. I feel it was a lot of like them always reacting to hook shots, and that was the important thing that Mike did as well, is that he always started the fight. If the fight in opposite is something like a Yule's on a squishy hero into a light strike or into a Rubik lift, then all of a sudden you've got a hero kill and things are going to go well for you. So especially with a lot of the heals that people are picking right now, mech heroes, wisps, things like that, if you can pick off a hero at the start of the fight, it gives you a huge advantage because that's less spells. Think of the one fight that Wheel really lost last game. It was when the Sky with Mage just got blown up for nothing, and it was like, okay, things are over.
Yeah, that was not looking too particularly great for Wheel at that point in time, but they played solid. I think the most important thing, as you talked about the hookshot and stopping the chain stuns, every time there would be like a Lina, LSA, or Rubik lift, somebody would get glimpsed, and they would not be in position to be able to follow up on that chain stun and bring somebody down. They had all that single target damage, but no way to use it because the glimpses from Derp were actually really on point. So
yeah, that was mostly like laning glimpses, but even the teamfight stuff was pretty solid. So we see very similar bans as last game, actually, an SF and a Brood. They're apparently not too afraid of the Wisp. And a Lesh ban, sorry, from Not Today.
Lesh ban, pretty good, especially after that last game for Relic, where he really showcased what he could do on that hero.
Yeah, farmed really fast. Was definitely a focal point of damage in the team fights. It's kind of similar to Shadow Fiend. You're just like a tanky, high damage dealer hero that you don't really want to fight into. It's kind of scary, and also a lot of utility for pushing. So first pick, we'll probably see a very different draft. Maybe not very different, but we'll see if we see a similar strat or maybe slightly adjusted from the last game. I'm not really sure what they're going to do here.
There's multiple ways to open with so many good heroes. Gyrocopter, I think, has been the bread and butter of not just the NA scene, but I think of a lot of scenes, a lot of regions as well. He's just so good, even with the change to Rocket Barrage, still fighting early on with Call Down as well. Not today go for the Clockwork this time, which is not only a good pick, but it's a deny pick, as Mike, we can only talk about it so much, how good Mike was in that Clockwork in the last game. So
I feel this is so far so good for Wheel. Gyro's very good versus Clock in lane. If he does cog you in together, if you're solo, it's like, okay, whatever, I'll cast Rocket Barrage on you and do tons of damage. Rocket Barrage is a bit worse than it was before, but Gyro versus Clock 1v1 is not too bad. I guess you can drain his mana. His mana pool is a lot lower. He only has about, what, 220 mana?
He's not very smart anymore.
He used to have like 400 mana at level 1 or something crazy like that, but he got a couple nerfs there. Very well deserved, limiting the support Gyrocopter from being quite as OP, but we'll see what they do with their second pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up a support here. They picked a lot of supports early last game. I think Rubik is one of the most picked heroes at the Summit, actually, as a support, and he's pretty good against Gyrocopter, I would say. Stuns definitely help. Can steal some good spells, too. Maybe not Rocket Barrage, but Call Down.
Yeah, that would not be... I mean, Rubik, I think, is... Some people were saying and arguing earlier here that he's not a top-tier support. I think he is a top-tier support currently in this patch.
Yeah, he wasn't the best in the previous patch, I feel. No. Due to like due to snowballing, like how some of the carries went, like really late game Rubik is not the safest support. He's got telekinesis, obviously, but compared to a hero like Lion, your disable is a bit weak. Your nuke damage is... I mean, you potentially can... like. Rubik is... Lion strengths are lots of disable and a lot of single target damage. That's pretty much relevant no matter what the patch is, right? Rubik is a teamfight hero. You want to steal the good teamfight spells and turn things around for your team. And because a gold advantage is so important right now in this patch, if you do get a gold advantage, you keep gold advantage, you win the game. So by having a Rubik in the game, rather than a hero like Lion, I think that's why he's more popular now, is because his teamfight is definitely stronger. You've got AoE stuns, you've got AoE nukes, you can steal teamfight abilities, and that's where Rubik's strength is. So if you can steal the good spells, then Rubik is really good. If you're going really late game and they have BKBs, you're kind of like, well, Rubik sucks right now, I don't really want to play him.
He's kind of the jack of all trades, I feel like.
Yeah, that's as well. Jack of all trades and teamfight focus is how I would classify him as a support.
So they'll pick him up second here for Whreck while whistling. The line was picked up for Not Today, which is the old standby. I still think this hero is absolutely fantastic. And
agreed. He's just more situational than he was in the last patch. Last patch, you're like, why would I pick any other support? I used to pick him like every game in my solo queues. Now I actually change it up sometimes, depending on the heroes that I'm playing against.
If I have to play support, I'm picking Lion last patch. That's for sure.
It's just so safe. You're like, wow, I can snowball the game as a support hero, and remaining relevant all game, and most importantly, very good against heroes like Storm Spirit. Anybody that's a BKB, if you chain disable, it's like, who needs an eggs on Disruptor when I could just play a line and get a Blink Dagger? It's like I can just lock them down for 6 seconds and do some burst on top of that. So a lot of healers getting banned. Dazzle as well as Undyne. What's up with? Oh, I guess they're worried about the tri-lane right now. Rubik's pretty strong tri-lane support with his range. Gyrocopter's arguably the best tri-lane carry right now due to having range, huge movement speed, and good damage, so they are really worried about getting aggroed. This might reveal the fact that they want to pick bad tri-lane heroes, but I guess Lion is, I would say he's like a mediocre, pretty good but not amazing tri-lane support.
It depends on who you're playing with the Lion, obviously. I mean, that's how it generally works in tri-lanes in the first place, but I actually like him a lot. If you like, the thing is, like, you could change the way an early team fight is going with like a 2-man Earth Spike, and just, it's very dependent, I guess, on positioning.
Yeah, I would say it's, when you're talking about tri-lane, it's better to go for the safe things. Like, I look at like good tri-lane heroes as like, Rubik is not going to miss his stun, right? Like, it's impossible. He might click a creep, but it's very, very low. Lion is like, you can move out of the Earth Spike range. The range isn't always amazing. You might ground click and end up missing. Yeah, you can get a 2-man Earth Spike, and that's amazing. And he's got a good range attack, but I feel Rubik is a little safer defensively, definitely.
It's either one way or the other. One way you have the great Earth Spike. The other way is you just whiff completely, and
it's my special. Whiff my Earth Spikes.
Whiff the Earth Spike. Yes. That the pain of every Lion player.
Okay, Slark versus Gyro. I feel it's okay, but it could be bad. You're gonna be able to hit him with Call Down. Rocket Barrage, if he's not ulting, is definitely a big threat. Sand King Rubik. Okay, Sand King was actually a hero that when I was looking over the stats, he has a huge pick rate in NA. It was actually ridiculous. Very few. I mean, we've seen like Secret played him a little bit at Summit 3, but largely it's a hero that just doesn't get picked. Very good against Slark though, because it's an AoE stun. That means you can hit him while he's ultimating. All you have to do is watch for the Dark Pack ends, bam, Sand King goes in, hopefully chain stun and blow up the Slark. Yep. So Sand King, pretty good this game. Good against Lion as well, I would say.
But in aggro tri-lane, you don't really expect that because you want to be jungling. Yeah. You want to have easy access to that jungle early on.
That's a good point. So this may mean it's a safe try for Wheel. Maybe not today could do something aggressive with this, but with a Slark, maybe. If you can catch Rubik, you can definitely get pickoffs, but everybody else, it's a little dangerous.
I don't like Slark and a Gyrocopter because both of those heroes run at each other, and I feel like if push comes to shove, you're losing health when you're dark packing. You're running and you're taking damage. Gyrocopters are going to be hitting you with Rocket Barrage. I really wouldn't like the Slark to go in against a Gyrocopter, but it depends on, again, your positioning.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably just going to be a tri-lane here. Another thing we didn't point out, Rubik very good versus Clock. Ooh.
Okay, I've seen it all. The Bloodseeker comes out for Wheel.
It's a hero that got pretty buff the last patch. His Thirst is passive. It scales based on the percentage of HP. It doesn't just give you a boost at an arbitrary number. Like, wow, you have exactly under 40%. Like, how did Bloodseeker evolve that way? You know, you're like, you know what? If his fingernail, if he has one less fingernail, I am running really fast right now. You know, now it's like, okay, he's got 4 scratches, broken leg. I'm moderately fast. You know,
Icefrog had to do some real tweaking with that hero. They went in on Bloodseeker and like a couple of patches ago. They're like, this guy's not getting picked ever. Yeah. And suddenly they changed him, and he's still not getting picked ever. This is the first game I've seen him in for such a long time, honestly, and I'm excited to see how it's going to work out for Wheel.
I think he's a pretty good hero here. He's good against Slark. If Slark pounces, he takes damage. If you rupture Slark, he'll probably ultimate, and then Sand King can stun him most likely. Bloodseeker's not very good versus Clock. I think Bloodseeker's weak to long duration weak disables like Frostbite, immobilizes, things that block you from moving, but not necessarily chain stuns. Chain stuns are good against Bloodseeker, but he's pretty tanky and he can heal. So really what you need is prevent him from doing damage, make him not move for a long time, and then kill him in that way. So, and with the heroes that Wheel has, they have a lot of stuns. They have pretty good mobility advantage. I feel like if Bloodseeker avoids getting Battery Assault clogged by Clockwork, he can actually do a lot this game.
And I feel like they can build him into a tanky frontline kind of team fighter. They don't have to necessarily go for damage because they can have that with a Gyrocopter. But the thing is, now he's going to have to deal with the DK, long duration stun. That is very difficult.
That's a huge issue. That's like one stun where you're like, yeah, it's a stun, but it's like such a long stun that you don't care that it has stun duration attached to it. Like, if Bloodseeker can't move for 4 seconds, that is the problem that I'm talking about. So I think Dragon Knight's a great pick here for BS. And another issue actually with the Bounty Hunter pick, they're going to be tracking him, which means that any mobility he has is lessened by all of his opponents being a little faster. So it's going to be I don't think this is a good Bloodseeker game, I'm going to be honest. I think if they had less disables, they would be good, but they've got Pounce, the leash will be annoying, they've got Dragonite Stone, that's a huge issue, they've got Track, they've got Line, who is like maybe good against Bloodseeker, but generally it's a little dangerous, and Clock is a really good anti-Bloodseeker hero.
Yeah.
This is not a Bloodseeker game, I don't think. I don't play the hero very much, but
same.
I feel like it's not a Bloodseeker game.
I'm reserving judgment, and I kind of agree with you. It doesn't feel, on paper, it doesn't feel like a good Bloodseeker game. I'm waiting to see if he hits like a really good Bloodrite, and that silence is going to actually just wreck some of these heroes, honestly. Specifically, Slark could get destroyed.
Yeah. You know what, I just thought about Blood Rage plus Gyrocopter.
Dear God.
Or you could even Blood Rage to Sand King as the Epicenter's in. There's actually...
Does it increase all damage, or does it increase?
Yeah, there's some legitimate synergy that people do not use in Bloodseeker. They think like, oh, I'm going to Blood Rage myself, I'm going to hit people. I mean, I don't think he's going to play support, but I think there are some situations where Blood Rage could be OP. Like, imagine a Sand King Epicenter in. Oh, he's supposed to do 600 damage. Well, now he's doing like 900.
Now he's killing your entire team.
Yeah, and with a Burrow Strike on top of that, like at level 6, he does like what? 6 pulses of 110, that's like 660, plus a Burrow Strike. He could actually do like 1300 AoE magic damage with a Blood Rage.
I can't believe
that's
that
one
actually,
skill point,
that,
you know?
That affects everything, not just like right click.
It's all damage done, because remember people would like Blood Rage double Zeusol?
Yeah, okay.
If it's global, it does less, but Sand King can do tons of AoE. Think of Gyrocopter Flak Cannon with that. It's like boosting your damage by 25%. You can do call down bonus damage, Rocket Barrage. I feel like if they explore Bloodseeker that way, it's a good pick. If they don't, if they play Bloodseeker like the pub way, which, like, let's say they play the pub way, but they play it well. Okay, it can maybe work.
Yes.
But if they boost up allies a bit with Bloodseeker, if they synergize a little bit there, I think they can do some really good things. And they do offlane Sand King. So that's pretty surprising.
Mike's been playing this a lot. It feels like everything Mike does, Universe either has done first or takes from Mike and goes from there. Like they play so similar in terms of the offlane heroes. Like this is a uniquely, besides Yoki obviously from Empire, who I think maybe invented it. This is uniquely NA thing to do, is go offlane Sand King. So Mike's played this a couple of times. I've seen a game or two where he's played it. Hasn't had the best success.
Okay.
But it's certainly something that can work. Get levels fast, and the good thing is too, you can also just sack your lane. You could and that's the thing I don't see a lot about of offlane heroes. Whereas in 6.83 it was huge. You would you would have an axe, get a couple levels, head to the jungle, sack the lane, and you could do that as a Sand King, honestly.
But the problem is that there's a support bounty hunter.
That's true.
Doing AFK jungle is not the best.
Yeah,
that's
bounty
why
hunter is very good against Sand King in that regard.
Yeah, bounty hunter basically just says, oh, you want to get a last hit? Well, I'm taking half your experience. I might take the last hit from you, and I'm going to make you run around the map. He actually went boots first, so we'll see probably a lot of annoying things coming out of bounty hunter here. Man, I'm having a great day. How about you? That game actually got me so pumped.
Yeah, that game was
cool picks
great.
here. I'm just loving Dota today.
You're getting so hyped up for the rest of tonight, and the rest of tonight's just going to be like 20-minute games, stomps everywhere. Sucks.
Maybe I'll be really lucky. Bounty does spot them out, so he sees most of the heroes top, which should mean that they can. I don't think they'll shift and start a fight or anything like that, but. Bounty's going to get spotted. BS going for the Stout Shield, the Tango Salve. I'm actually really curious to see what Sleesel builds this game. I love watching pro players pick a hero in a competitive game. And this game means a lot, obviously. Yeah. So they're obviously believe this hero is good or situationally useful. And is he going to jungle, actually? Because I guess Gyro's top 2, huh? No, who's going mid?
Relic is the mid player, the Mark of Cain, and he has
I
think he's a mid build with the 2 Tango Sheridan and an early Wraithband. And who's he against? He's against Smash from the DK. I feel like this is a pretty good matchup. It's an okay matchup, at least for Relic, at least in my opinion.
If DK plays it right, he's not going to have any trouble here. Gyro is actually his abilities are obviously very strong, but if you stand by creeps, they're worthless. So. I don't think it's going to be too bad here for Smash. If there's like if it's like a dual lane or something, then the Dragonite might have trouble. But that might be a tri lane actually. Look at this. They're sitting in Viz. They might start the fight. Observer Ward goes down as well. Ooh. No, I'm sure Lines. Oh, wow, the instant sentry.
They actually see that ward too. That is a huge Observer Ward coming out that's going to get absolutely demolished.
How did they predict that? Did they see him place it? Then we see him. There's the Rocket Barrage. He might actually be in trouble. One stun comes through. A couple hits from Dragonite.
Nice telekinesis.
Nothing will happen. Just a little damage.
Goody throws that telekinesis right onto the Dragonite. He can't chase any further. And Courier dies. The bounty hunter. I should have expected it. Oh no. Again, a Courier goes down early on into the game. Not today. Getting out on top here. At least early. But yeah, we'll see how this goes, man. The dual lane so far with the Rubik and the Relic Gyrocopter.
And it's a Slark versus a Sand King. Do they have detection of any kind? They actually don't. So.
He's got a
Sandstorm?
No, he burrowed.
Yeah, that does break the tether, so that's one solution. Sandstorm levels in the offlane are something that you might go more heavy than Burrow Strike, because what you need is the cooldown reduction. I only played in a pub once recently, and I don't think this is necessarily the right build, but I went 1-4-1, because when you're solo versus the melee, you can actually do Caustic Finale. You probably won't do that, because I think that build is generally not safe against good players.
Too aggressive,
but I think he needs extra levels of Sandstorm, because every time he gets gone on, he's got a Sandstorm mostly, and it's a long cooldown, 40, 30, 20, 10, and obviously more levels will also still help you jungle. Like every time they go on him, he's got a Burrow Strike or Sandstorm, and now he doesn't have any more mana. And like, what does he do now? So I feel like he's gonna have to go a bit extra Sandstorm. He's getting levels, I guess.
This is a really rough lane, because if they hit a pounce without like using Earth Spike, they could just Earth Spike out of the Sandstorm if he decides to go for that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very difficult. Like there's so many ways to initiate onto him and so many ways to die.
I don't think he cares. He's got to be happy right now. Honestly,
if he gets level 3, he could just leave and then head to the jungle. I've seen him do this before. He'll hit level 3 and then he'll peace out and then he'll go to the jungle. They're even stacking for him as well. They Blood Rage Derp. They do a ton of damage to everyone.
Oh, that's really cool, because Sky's such a good laning support. He does a lot of damage, and all Sleesel does is he just Blood Rages him, so he gets even more value. That's such a cool lane. See, if they're doing it, they're abusing the abuse that is Blood Rage. He can continue last hit, but he's still going to continue last hitting, but he's still really helping out the Skywrath Mage. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm down for Derp to be doing even more damage to the Skywrath Mage. They stopped the pull coming out from Stinger. Nicely played there. Sleesel getting the most last hits in the game, 13. Blood Rages again. The Clarity's going to get popped. Stinger's being annoying. Actually, isn't.
He's got to wait for the invis. Yeah, he didn't want to do it right away because his invis was a long cooldown. So he did lose. He did get a bit extra mana there, but I think that was the safe play. Definitely, the Sentry does not spot the obs. The interesting stat there was that no Wisp has been picked or banned. Didn't get touched, but Wisp actually didn't have the highest win rate. His win rate at the summit was pretty darn good, but on slightly lesser teams, I feel like Wisp is not the best hero.
Clockwork had the highest win rate, 9-1, ridiculous.
But the important part about that stat was that it was only played by Zion Universe.
Yeah, it's true. That's those are two pretty good players.
It's kind of like an unfair stat.
Yeah, so, small sample size. Yeah, agreed.
And Bounty Hunter doing the thing that Bounty Hunters do well, which is mess with heroes that normally get greed advantages in the jungle. Ooh, spots the courier. Not gonna be able to kill him.
He's not gonna get it, yeah.
But he's just saying, I'm here, IX Mike. You can jungle if you want, but I'm gonna sap half the experience, and that's a big disadvantage. Luckily, Sand King does have a lot of levels already, so losing some experience isn't the worst. But he's just gonna stand around stack, and as long as Bounty's here when he kills the stack, it's a bad thing. Is Bounty gonna interrupt the stack?
He might be. Yeah, he might. Whoa, a Bloodseeker disconnects. Sleesel is maybe his internet connection goes out. Who knows what's happened there? But if he stops the stack, this could be huge.
Does he want it to go through and split the experience is the real question. I feel like he doesn't, because he's not getting the gold. It's better to probably interrupt both. All right, see what happens. Probably going to hit him. Rubik's shifting over. Yep, there's the hit on IX Mike.
He can still stack this, but
I think he will, because there's no more mana on Bounty. It actually spot him out here.
Yeah, Goody saw him for... No, did he not see him? I think he walked through the tree at the right time.
He does end up blocking it, so...
Yeah. Smart play. They do get the medium camp stack, which is nice, but still... Bounty Hunter, God, the first time I played against a Bounty Hunter as a Sand King was the most annoying experience of my life, and I can't imagine how Mike is feeling right now. It doesn't feel very good. Earth Spike mid, they're going to try to jump in. They have the Dragon Tail coming out. They're going to get this kill with the Breathe far more than likely. Relic is going to fall. First blood coming out for Smash. He has the Haste Rune. Telekinesis back, but there's not nearly enough damage for Goody, so he's...
That hero's so tanky. Yep. 1 point in Dragon Blood, and you had 8 armor at level 5. Like, that's amazing. So... that was a really nice rotation. Bounty Hunter was, being really annoying. Sand King's able to get solo experience because of it. Maybe he might be able to sap some. He is going to get some. Look at that, now spreading. Sentry gets put down, and IX Mike should know. Oh, can he grab a neutral?
Yeah, he does get one. So. You get the Standard Tormentor. Burrow comes in. Stinger's low. Fable. Wow. It's not worth it. It is not worth it, Stinger. That was most certainly not worth it. A kill for our... it went to the Rubik. If it went to IX Mike, I was like, damn, that's even more for him, but...
I mean, Rubik's going to be happy with that as well. And it's actually pretty even gold, I'm sure. They probably get very similar amounts of gold because the whole change to it. It's pretty evenly split now, no matter who gets it. Bloodseeker, nothing new, grabs Treads. A little bit of damage on the clock. No, we do see a slow, actually.
They won't go for him. They're too far away. Bloodseeker does not have 6. He's only level 4, almost level 5. Tower falls down bottom. Slark Van has a free lane. Gets up to 1,000 gold. They're going to rotate mid, it looks like. Maybe a Rapid from Stinger. And he won't find... Goody's sitting nearby, so Relic should be relatively safe. Goes for the early point and the homing missile as well. Wants to spam that out a little bit. Has level 5, 3 points Rocket Barrage. Going to get called down pretty soon. And Stinger will back away, back to his side of the river.
You should definitely get at least 1 skill point. If you're playing a mid-roll, you might need the stun. to set things up, so I think that's fine. So the levels going. Clockwork's level 4. Sand King just hit 5. He's killing his stacks. He's got about 900 gold. He's in a pretty good spot, I think. Bounty's level 3. Scarlet Mage has almost no items, but that's because he's been buying everything for his allies. I think Rubik's going to greed out Arcane Boots or something like that.
We saw the early Blink Dagger from Fly, I think, 2 games ago. First game with Complexity Root, which, by the way, you talk about interesting picks. Off-lane spin that goes Guardian Greed first. Certainly not something
Dragon Knight initiate on mid. The cooldown actually completely misses him. Really nice play by Smash there. That actually kept him alive. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
He moved from right here and he ran this way and he barely skirted the edge of the cooldown. That's so much damage actually. That's 350 magic damage that he avoided. Not to mention the slows, and he would have gotten the kill otherwise probably. A little bit of harass here now on Relic. He just predicted where the cooldown was going to go. Tower's going to take a lot of damage, and this is looking good. Game going on top, actually trying to get the throw off on Sleesel, but Sleesel runs away.
Fast.
And he'll be 6 very soon.
Rocket Barrage and right click being exchanged between Smash and Marv K, and Relic is going to back away. And they wanted to do some damage to that Snorn Tower mid. Smash stunned a little bit. So he's putting some pressure onto that tower, trying to get it down. Whittle it down low as a DK wants to do so often. And he'll put pressure. It's only a little bit missing HP. Relic is sitting at, how many last hits exactly? 31. He's actually doing better than Smash in terms of CS, but not by much. So still a good lane, and obviously level 6 is your bread and butter for DK. Now that he has it, he might be able to get a bit more out of the lane. Especially if he rotates too, he can maybe look for tower kills, things of that nature.
There's a lot of last hits coming out for both Bloodseeker and Slark, though. They're both last hitting very, very well. What does Slark get? Is this a
Blink?
Do you Midas? Blink's pretty good versus Bloodseeker, I guess, but there's just so many stuns I feel like it's a little dangerous, because even if you go in, like, yeah, you can initiate this person, but it's still dangerous. I wonder if you should first clock in slow. There's a lift with a Roger. A little bit of bonus damage there.
You're going to try to
TP. Ooh.
That was a TP. That TP felt pretty long for some reason. I don't know why, but he does go down.
So you move... How far do you get to move people with telekinesis? What's the distance? Probably like 300 units or something.
Yeah.
So it's like a bonus 20% of that damage. So you get like a bonus 60 pure damage. It's okay.
It didn't do as much as I think they were anticipating. He got dropped and he's like, ah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be more as you go up. Level 1 Rupture is very low damage for the movement. It's like, for 4 staff, it's like 120 pure or something. It's pretty bad.
My inherent problem with the Bounty Hunter, the support that NoT today have, is levels are kind of hard to come by.
Yeah, he hasn't really been able to do as much as we've seen some other bounties in the past do.
Yeah.
He didn't set the experience next one with the big stack. It is a Blink Dagger. They're going to go on the Slark, and there's a Shrike, an easy kill. That's the big pickup, but he actually is still not getting that much experience. Rubik was not the highest level, just a level 4. It's good that's moving around the map, though, and they definitely do need a pressure. They get the mid tower, they've got the bot tower, 0.07 seconds. That was not X-Mike, actually. It's the radiant.
I was going to say mob type, buddy.
We know, we just saw X-Mike go crazy on a Clockwork, but
it is it for it. That's all right.
Sky's been doing a great job pulling, actually. He did sacrifice himself a lot by zoning at first, which is really coming to play. Clockwork is now heading level 5. We have the first stat fail. Nope. I'm happy to point it out. Nope. Some good experience sapping here. At least Bounty's still only 3. He really is going to need to hit Thix here soon. But I feel like not today's lineup's really solid. They have a lot of good pushing heroes that can take towers, and then that's going to transition into a lot of ganks.
I'm not sure if you touched on this already, but I really enjoy the fact that line gets slowing to the bottom as the Slark is moving around, like you mentioned. Because the Slark is moving around, line gets up to 1,000 gold, and that means a fast Blink Dagger.
So
yeah, it's huge, and that early Blink Dagger makes or breaks line games from time to time. And you know, we haven't even talked about Mike, Mike who has his Blink Dagger now. But
okay. I feel like line can't just read the blink straight. There were some teams that did that in the last patch. I feel because they'll try to jump in here. So going on top, jumping on Sleesel. He's going to drop his blood and maybe his ultimate as well, but he will fall here. And this is the counter. Bloodseeker now moving. He almost gets a kill. Going to heal for now, and now chasing after Slark, but Slark doesn't have his ultimate yet. They've got to keep doing damage. There's the leap to go into the trees. He should be okay, and I think that's how that Instant King kills Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter's just off to the backside, get obliterated by a monk. We just know his Blink Dagger flying out just yet. Now he gets there. Vance still in the tree line. Derp pings him out. Bounces.
He's in trouble.
Rocket Barrage gonna go. Dark Pack does nothing. They get an easy kill. 3-for-1 trade, and you get the huge kill on the Slark in the process. Worth it for Wheel.
He really shouldn't have died there. That was not okay. He like pounced out and then made a mispounce and completely got killed. And he had a blink. All he had to do was wait like 15 seconds more to get a TP out, and he wouldn't have died. That was such a big mistake. I mean, they grab a great kill on the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker's not able to snowball. I mean, he's, what, 0-1 and 2. He's got a belt of giant strength. Like, BS hasn't even ganked yet. That's maybe one of the weird things about the strategy. Yeah, he synergized really well with the Skywrath for the zoning, but now he's just got, like, what does he do? Does he do ganks with allies to make use of Rupture?
They
does
have
he
that
farm?
blink dagger. I think with the blink on Mike, maybe that's the go point for Wheel. I'm not sure.
Well, it looks like they're going to smoke here or something. They're grouping up a bit.
Yeah. They had it on them. Like, let's go. Relic's like, there's somebody in our jungle. There's Stinger. They see him. Blink goes through. They have Burrow. They have the Sentry. Stinger in trouble. Now the Wreck Barrage should come through, but he's avoiding most of the damage. Dust comes out. They finally get the kill, and they even get the ward countered as well. Nicely played.
That's actually something to think about for Bounty Hunter there. Should he have put that observer ward down? Because they're going to be looking for him being there. You'd almost have to board somebody really weird to get away with it. There's a stun on Smash, catching him with the Rupture. He's got a TP. It's the only way to live. The ultimate, too much damage comes through. Smash goes down. That's the counter to Dragonite, man. Magic damage. It's really good at beating him. If your team is magic damage, weak hookshot comes in, gonna grab Rubik. He's got the lift though, which should keep him alive most likely, but the follow-up comes through. Dark Pack cleans up the Rubik, and he's not even gonna pounce for that.
The fight now, maybe. Mike is actually out of mana. He can't blink forward and Burrow. He could blink, but no Burrow coming through after. You're right, Dragonite does get blown up. That actually did so much damage. The Blood Right coming through. Van jumping on Derp. He should fall here the last couple of right clicks. Trying to juke a jive. Does have a stick. He does use a concussive shot. Will he die? Here's the question. He's gonna dive into the tree line, and I mean, there's no TP support to help out, so Derp is just going to waste their time. Nice juke, but then walks back into the Slark and actually goes down Blink, and they're going to cut the creep wave and try to deal with the Tier 1 tower, which is very low top. They want to get this kill.
The Slark Blink's paying off really hard, and that's basically because of the supports that Wheel has.
What are you doing? You just placed a ward here that got countered. Why did you place the ward here? No.
Did somebody else place it?
Yeah,
oh, that's why they didn't communicate. Lion tried that ward, I believe, and you know.
Two observers now down there. Skull stolen. What did he get? Cogs. No, it's not going to happen very long. Dark Pack, there's the Rupture.
This Rupture's not going to do anything.
Blood Right comes out, but they have no follow-up. Dark Rupture's not there. Dark Pack's off the silence and then pounces away. Rupture did a lot of damage with that pounce. Rupture duration is very long now.
Yeah.
I will say that much.
If the fight's in... Wow, this Slark's playing so well. Except for that one death. He's playing extremely well. With just a Blink Dagger and a Wand and a bottle, he's up to 5 kills and 1 death. That's far more than what Bloodseeker was able to accomplish so far with pretty much equal farm. And because of all those kills now, he's got a Midas. And it's only at 13 minutes, so it's still pretty decent. And he is going to be a harder carry than Bloodseeker, and definitely a lot more annoying. Like, Bloodseeker can't just be like, I'm going to be invisible for 3 seconds. You know, if he gets caught, you're like, you're committed as a Bloodseeker. You're like, okay, I guess I have to do something. Time to fight. And Blink is up online now. That was really good greed out of the line to be able to grab this early.
Yeah.
It's looking like a really good Not Today game. I like the Bloodseeker idea at first, but they weren't able to transition into any kills with it. It's hard for them to kill people with it. Like, Slark is very difficult. He needs like 2 other heroes to make it work. Bounty Hunter breaks his smoke. Can they catch him?
Dust.
There's the Dust.
Did it connect? It did. They have just the tail end of it. They
they
find it. They ping him out. They need to use the Burrow, and they're going to. And
all right, now he's dead.
Stinger is just never getting 6 ever. I don't think he cares as long as his team is ahead, which they clearly are. But
yeah, but I mean, he does still cost them some things by them being here. Dust is what, 80 gold.
Yeah.
Or 90 gold, sorry. They put a Sentry Ward down. They're kind of having to move together a lot because they're worried about just dying. They are going to go on mid. Blink coming in with the Rupture and maybe need the Blood Understanding. It's a little late for it. Oh, he's actually turning things around. He gets blown up completely. Needed more damage than that. Smash taking the Skywrath ultimate as well, but still doing damage. Hookshot comes in. Gonna grab Skywrath. That should be his death, maybe, unless Rubik is going to get him. No, Clockwork getting really low. There's the Bolt coming in. They clean up, turning things around. Looking really good for Not Today. Bounty Hunter trying to stay alive. He is going to die to the last flak shot, though. And a couple more hits on Gyro should be his death. 5 dead heroes on Wheel. And Not Today wins the fight pretty convincingly. Big mistakes there was that they got a little too greedy on the Dragonite. They didn't have a stun on Sand King. All he had left was mana for his ultimate, and it wasn't quite close enough. And Smash's HP was just a bit too high. Look, he's got Drum, he's got an Ogre Club, he's got extra levels of Dragon Blood here. Yeah, sure, he doesn't have a lot of magic resistance, but if they can't put all of the nukes on him right at the start of the fight to burst him down in that first 2 seconds, They're not going to get him, and they have good positioning.
That's where Mike is like, I don't have mana for Burrow, guys. I'm sorry. I can't stun, can't set up the Mystic Flare. They got it off in the end, but that was a really great turn from Not Today. The Dragon Knight came in, and then the huge hook shot from Ifrit. The Clockwork players bring out the best in their teams. Ifrit not quite the score that I expected in the last game, but they're already doing such good work here in the second game. Smash is going to have his BKB pretty soon, and then all that magic damage that we talked about is going to go by the wayside. It's not going to matter.
Yeah.
He's just going to be able to just tank up. No one's going to right-click him down. The Gyrocopter doesn't have nearly enough damage. In fact, he's going to be going for Tread's Drum and an Ogre Club into BKB, probably. SNY for Bloodseeker, still not that much damage, even with Blood Rage, which is only level 1. So there's a long way to go before they can take down not only Van, but the Bloodseeker, or rather the Dragon Knight as well.
Well, maybe he could make the Invis item, the Silver Edge.
Oh, yeah,
I think it's okay this game. I guess they have a Bounty Hunter, so I guess it's
good against
bad.
Dragon Blood.
But yeah, it can stop Dragon Blood for a bit of time. Well, it's like 12 armor. That's actually pretty big. It's like a medallion, really, if you think about it. It's an expensive medallion. I think it's probably safer just to go S and Y, though. But obviously S and Y doesn't stop cogs from killing you or anything like that. But man, the farm on Van is just so high. 7-1-1 here.
God, 1800. He just bought this Midas. 9 gets the ward up, blinks out, Burrow Strike. Mike finally finds it and says we'll pick up this kill. Arcane Bolt, and actually it's Derp with the Arcane Bolt that secures it. Oh, Mike. Okay, I thought I just heard an Epicenter get channeled, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Oh my God.
That would be bad. It's going to be a Soul Ring on Sand King. I think this is a good option here. It is going to be pretty long duration team. It's when you have a lot of movement speed heroes, usually you're going to be moving in and out of fights a lot. So I think the Soul Ring is definitely something he needed in the last fight. I think Tranquils on Sand King is a pretty good option. The movement speed is great. The armor is definitely good because you usually buy a lot of HP items, so I think Soul Ring is fine here.
They're pushing in. They're at a deficit. Track is now up for Stinger. This is a very dangerous fight. Look at the flank coming through. There is this Observer Ward, so Van is spotted out. He knows. He had to Shadow Dance. The passive is now down. They know exactly where that ward is. Shot comes in from Ifrit. Burrow, Blood Right, big free fire. He actually gets out of the cooldown, rather out of the cogs, but still pushed up, dies on the other side as cogs was stolen by Immortal, but he is going to fall. It looks like in the DK. Van comes in, zones out everybody else, gets burrowed as he's trying to TP, but can they kill him? Arcane Bolt comes in, the Ancient Seal. He's ruptured, right-clicked, and he is going to fall. Now there's going to be the Shuriken toss on the track. Hero's so low for Relic, but he's going to stay alive with 56 HP. Smash going for Big Bro with the Soul Ring that just came out. Smash is going to fall as well. Finally, Wheel got a good fight, and that is huge.
They're so low. Just like that top fight in the last game, they just barely win things. The Rubik made a bit of a mistake with the telekinesis. He moved the Clockwork out, and that delayed his death. But the rest of the team just outplaying a little bit. And once DK is solo, Rocket Barrage eats him alive. Just so much damage. What, 23? 10 rockets times 3. It's like 600 magic damage or something crazy like that. Yep. That's so much. Every 5.5 seconds. That is the solution towards Dragonite, but he should have BKB very soon. Once he gets that, things get a little scarier, but his teammates just weren't able to really follow up with damage. That's one of their lackings as a team. I mean, Lion obviously has disables, but it's pretty much 2, maybe 3 disables per team fight. The Hex cooldown is very long, so he doesn't have as much utility as what Wheel does. They've got Telekinesis every 22. They've got Skywrath abilities. They've got Sand King Burrow Strikes every 11 seconds, plus extra disables from Gyro and Bloodseeker. Like as the team fight goes on, if it's like a medium-length team fight, Wheel has a big advantage here as long as they don't get picked off. I
feel like if you go longer to team fight with Essence Shift and Van has enough tankiness, you steal so many stacks, you get so much agility coming out from that, and then you start really doing the damage. I think that's where, besides early on in the game where his nuke damage thrives, I think this game, Essence Shift later on down the road is going to be very important, especially against the Bloodseeker and Gyrocopter, so...
Yeah, I agree with that. It's basically up to Slark to win this game for Not Today, I feel.
Like shot comes in. There's the finger. Easy clean up. There's going to be the silence coming out. Rupture as well. Ifrit might be the counter kill here. Mystic Flare. Last right click, they get it done. Just barely. That TP time, not quite enough. And Derp actually secures that kill. So, offlaner for an offlaner. Nice trade. But I think any trade at this point, if you get a track off, then it's for Not Today. But if it's even, it's definitely going to favor Wheel because they are far down here.
Yeah, and Wheel's actually way ahead here. Arcanes have been purchased on Bounty in 16 of his 45, 6.4 matches. Only 6 Arcanes all-time prior. Yeah, Arcane's got moderately buffed, I would say, like bigger mana over time. 900 gold versus the Soul Ring. The problem with Soul Ring is that you kind of have to get the Tranquils as well. So it's buying both Tranquils and the Soul Ring now is far more expensive than Arcanes.
Yeah.
So and we saw a lot of Arcanes by FY at the Summit 3, which is probably where most of this trend came from. At least that was the first place I saw it.
Yeah.
So Arcane's a little bit more popular here. And most importantly, he's just trying to move around and get experience and spot where his opponents are.
So how much of an impact has Stinger had on this game early on? Like, we talked about leeching some experience in the jungle. He made a couple of mistakes, but it feels like he hasn't really been that impactful so far.
Sniped the courier.
That's true.
He ganked once or twice. I feel like he's underperformed a little bit, but not majorly.
Yeah.
He got spotted a couple times. He got killed a couple times. I feel like he's doing okay. It's, I would say, a little underperforming, but not that bad. You have to remember that it's a lot better than his KDA looks like, and he is going to get blown up here. That's a dead hero.
Ancient Seal, and yeah, he's just...
And they stole Invis, so pretty good steal there by Rubik. Obviously, it's not Track, but...
He wants Track so bad.
Yeah, Track is really good to steal. Basically makes your hero. It's like, would I rather have Rubik with Track or a Bounty Hunter? I would definitely rather have a Rubik with Track. That's for sure.
Yep.
Much stronger basic skills, basically. And Bloodseeker Sanj, she's got Aquila and should be an SNY finish soon. A Bro Strike, not catching anybody.
And they have an idea that Misko is up here, but they're not going to find him. Backside, Van was getting chased down by Goody, but there's nobody ready there for an engagement.
They might spot the Clockwork. No, they're not going to.
Yeah, Goody's not going to walk out in time. Ping comes in, TP's top, Van in an okay position. Derp actually almost saw Misko there. Team fight looking like it might break out. Van has his blinking in 5. Track is up. You can see on the backside Mike is there. They don't have the vision though. They do just see the Sand King for now. Mike looking to jump in, but they're going to go through with Van. Now the blink out. Earth Spike only on the 1 here. You can see Mike Sandstorm's up. There's going to be the blood rate. Call down not used just yet. They lose 1, but they will buy back immediately. Call down comes in. Ifrit. Mystic Flare is avoided. Ifrit will survive. Derp getting low smash gets that Dragon Tail off. That long duration stun keeps him in place. Derp trying to kill Ifrit. He will get the kill. That shouldn't have happened, but it does. Now it's a 2-for-2 trade with a buyback coming in from the line, who's finally back in the fray. And they shouldn't have everybody else vacate the premises from Wheel. They're going to look right for Goody, who is Shadow Walked. Dust is popped. Oh no, they throw the sentry down and he just walks the other way. Smoke was used coming out from Not Today, and they smoke right on top of another hero. It does nothing. That's unfortunate.
Well, I think that was an okay buyback there for Line. I mean, they got a gold advantage. They did lose Clock, obviously. It was a good positioning by him. The idea is that he can catch them if they are running away. Went all right. Are they going to spot the Rubik?
He's still on Viz with Shadow Walk.
Will he... Oh, wait, Slark's the enemy team. Probably won't break this, but there might be a timer here. Oh, they're Shadow Walking at the same time. There's one.
They see him. Yeah, Stinger saw him. They're both Shadow Walking at the same time. They both know that they're there, but this time Sentry is popped and Stinger does the smart thing, not walking. Okay,
he's gonna die now. I think. Wait, why aren't they? They're not. Are they scared? Oh, they're scared of the Rubik. Okay. Or the Slark hookshot comes in. That should be a dead Rubik now. He's tracked as well. So
big track kill coming through.
Playing dangerously, but it's gonna not work out.
That was such a weird situation. You thought that Stinger was gonna go down, but if they commit to Stinger, then they probably both die in that situation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was very weird. Oh, they're gonna grab a kill on Smash. Maybe they drop the epicenter, but BKB is used, and now they're just right clicking and Smash. But his armor's so high that they just give up. They're like, okay, I guess we're leaving. Ice Mud gets caught just barely. Slark leaps on in.
That was a sick pounce from the high ground too, and then the Breeze Fire, of course, coming in at the same time. Mike falls. Good BKB usage from Smash, and like you said, it stops them from aggressing any further onto the Dragon Knight. He'll stay alive for the time being at 2K in terms of gold. Smash is going to push right down into this tier 2 tower, which is very low, and it's going to get picked up here. They can glue it, but I don't
for the Skywrath Mage. He's going to die.
Van.
Great kill for Slark.
He just dives to the tier 3 tower. Blood Right's gonna go. Doesn't connect. That wind-up time for that Blood Right just takes too long. Spell was stolen.
Oh, Track.
He got the track. He got it. The dream.
So things get a little scary. That was such a big kill for Slark. That was very, very high-skilled gank attempt there. Just going way past the tower. Skywrath is the easy pick-off. Skywrath went for a force. And Skywrath's having a really good game, but as soon as the pounce lands, you're dead. Like, you can't do anything to stop Skywrath, or to stop the Slark from killing you. Unless you have one of your stunning allies there, but Mike was probably still dead, so... That was a big kill. I like this. That ward is so cool. I like this one. This ward is obviously fantastic, but it's so commonly dewarded.
Sentry 90% of games.
Yeah, so this one's a nice little change. I think you won't get spotted if the sentry goes high ground, and it still spots behind the tower, which is the important part. That'll give opportunities for Bounty Hunter to track or blinks from Slark.
You don't have this vision in this area, which is huge to have when you're getting juked on, when you're looking for positioning, but at the same time, they have, like you said, what you want, which is behind the tower, and Van could push safely with Reckless Abandon. You know, not that he would care too much if anybody was there in the first place, as we just saw him dive into the tower for a scout kill. But he'll take down the tower, get a couple of creeps in the process, and Not Today are looking like they are the ones with a clear advantage. They have a 7,500 net worth lead, and experience-wise, it's about 10,000 actually. They're going to take Roche with Roche, and an Aegis potentially on Van. Suddenly, the tier 3s become easier to breach. They have almost all of the tools to work with. It's going to be kind of tough to push into a gyrocopter, even the Sand King, a bit difficult, but I'm sure not today are going to find a way to be able to try to get into the high ground here.
I think it's not looking too amazing for Wheel with the Bloodseeker, though. I mean, we haven't really seen Bloodseeker do a whole lot. He's 1, 2, and 9. He can't really just outplay his opponents. There's too many stuns, basically. If you have a bunch of weak, like, slowing heroes or soft disables or heroes like Coddle, then you can do really good things with Bloodseeker, but it's a little tough otherwise. They actually back up and smoke. I guess they just didn't think a ward would be there. What an interesting play. They are going to be... Oh, they actually can't because they're also smoked. This is going to be the fight. We'll see how this turns out. They've got a clock in good position. He's going to spot the heroes. First strike comes.
BKB blood right, gonna go, but doesn't matter. Van just blows up that Rubik's. Lisa now gets takes up. We'll see the finger. He goes down as well. Mark of Cain getting run at as well. Smashing the BKB pop. They can't fight into that. Mike can't get a burrow or epi off. They'll have to back up to the tier 3 tower. Now they actually have Skyroth come in, but he's out of position. He goes down to a brief fire. Smash working on the high ground now with no buyback on Sleaze for 40 seconds. This should be a tier 3 tower, even with Glyph. Smash still has his Elder Dragon form for a long period of time. This should be a tier 3, man.
What an interesting move. They move into Roche. They're like, we could probably take Roche, but they're like, you know what? They're probably going to come smoke us, so instead we'll smoke and meet them outside. I love the blink on Smash as well. The BKB is the exact item he needs, and the blink allows him to also initiate and be a huge damage and stunning threat as well. It's a really smart place from NoT today. It looks, they're in a really good advantage right now. Buyback comes from Skyroth Mage, but it's only support. Do they back and take Roche now?
I think so.
Bloodseeker is going to be alive as well. So
Roche did get low, and there's a double damage. This is definitely their Roche to take if they want it. But Van goes to the high ground. He's got to farm a bit of the neutrals here, and then maybe they decide to go back into Roche.
I don't think they can because Dragon Knight's ulti is gone, so he's a much weaker hero without this. He's got a Hyperstone picked up. I would like to see... I think this is a good Mjolnir game, honestly. There's not that many BKB heroes on Wheel. They have 3 heroes that are very weak to it, basically Sand King, Sky, and Rubik. AC is obviously very, very strong, but there's a lot of magic damage on Wheel, so I feel like the AC won't do that much. It's better to just go Mjolnir and reflect a ton of AoE magic damage.
For now, they are going to head over to Roche, and I think they did so because they saw them move up to the top jungle here. They have this ward. This is really well placed. They saw everybody move in this general direction. They go into Roche, double damage, and that's it.
That's like the first time I've ever seen that ward before. That's really cool, though. Very unlikely to be dewarded unless you have a gem, so a really good spot for that.
And that gives them Roche. They drop the gem on the deck. Stinger's going to pick it up. He also has a mech, by the way, so Greaves maybe next, but he was under farm for a long period of time. But the luxury of a bounty hunter with track can solve all woes.
It really does. It's like 275 gold per kill. You basically just are there and you like throw your hand out and you're like, oh, thank you, I'll take that.
I didn't do anything, but that's fine. Smash is going to get jumped down with Burrow Strike. Blink back, but Smash is like, I don't really care. I still BKB. No Aegis, that's on ban for now. Dark packs off any real sort of aggression. He hops away and blinks away.
Scotty on Slark now.
He is very farmed. If the fight breaks out, you can be assured that he will probably win the team fight. It feels so hard for Wheel to fight into this, especially with Elder Dragon form up. They kind of have to wait for Elder Dragon form to go down or hit him and kill him while he doesn't have his BKB chain stun if necessary. Then Van jumps in, gets telekinesis, Dark packs it off. Now BKB's epicenter is going to go hook shot in. Mike, where is he? Forces back into the fray, but it's a little too much. Stinger now looks like he might fall, gets the mech off. Mark of Cain, relic slow, last right click. Smash is dominating, and he gets the kill. Immortal Songs, last couple of right clicks here. He'll fall the Dragon Tail. Stunned forever. More tracks coming out, and right now Wheel are just trying everything they possibly can. Blink forward, Mike still tracked up. There's a triple kill.
That's
Smash.
Gotta be it.
Smash me Pastor. He played super well, but I'd say Van probably be the MVP of this game.
Easily. Like, Van played, except for that one weird death, he played absolutely amazing this game. Just snowballed so hard with his early Blink Dagger, picked off a lot of kills. I mean, Wheel honestly played pretty well in the early game, but they got absolutely no value from this Bloodseeker pick. They actually got nothing out of it. They got, okay, they zoned the clockwork a bit better because they were able to Blood Rage the Skyroth Mage, but his ganking potential, like his rotations compared to what a Slark can do with a Blink Dagger, is just not even vaguely close. Maybe against crap teams or something, but like what does a Dragon Knight do when he gets ruptured?